Hey there, everyone. My name is Mary, and I have a story I'd love to share with all of you. Currently, I live with my father-in-law. Once upon a time, I was married to the love of my life, Jerry. We envisioned a fairy tale life together, full of love and happiness. Yet, life has a way of throwing curveballs, and mine came in the form of unexpected twists and turns. Our marriage, which we believed would be an everlasting bond of love, ended up being anything but that. I was left to deal with a deep betrayal, not just from Jerry, whom I had given my heart to, but also from my mother-in-law. Today, I want to open up about my journey through the highs and lows, the love we shared, the heartbreak that followed, and the strength I discovered within myself. Our story began beautifully as we embarked on our married life together, settling down in my own house. Having my own space has always been significant to me, symbolizing my independence and achievements. My journey to Canada was driven by my ambitions to study and secure a promising career. After achieving my goals, including purchasing my own house, Jerry moved in with me post-marriage. His parents resided in a different state, which meant our interactions were limited to sporadic visits and phone calls. One evening, as we were relaxing with some coffee after a day's work, Jerry's phone rang. It was Anna, my mother-in-law. I suggested Jerry put the call on speaker so I could join the conversation. "Hello, son. Can you come over?" she asked anxiously. "Mom, what's wrong? What happened?" Jerry inquired, concern lacing his voice. Anna then shared that Scott, my father-in-law, hadn't been well and had recently lost consciousness, necessitating emergency surgery. Shocked, we wondered why she hadn't informed us sooner. Anna's voice, filled with distress, pleaded for our help, admitting she couldn't manage this crisis alone. This marked the beginning of a tumultuous period in our lives, revealing the true nature of our relationships and the resilience of the human spirit. Join me as I unravel the details of my personal saga, encompassing moments of joy, betrayal, and the eventual reclaiming of my strength. My father-in-law, Scott, was someone I deeply admired and held in high regard. When we heard about his condition, we were filled with concern and immediately decided to go see them. "Don't worry, Mom. We'll be there tomorrow. Just hang in there and let us know if there's anything else you need," we reassured her over the phone. After ending the call, we swiftly booked our travel arrangements and began packing. Jerry was noticeably distressed. "Everything's going to be okay, Jerry. Scott will pull through. I know how much he means to you," I comforted him. Concerned about the financial aspect of the surgery, Jerry lamented the lack of savings on his part. "Don't stress over the finances. I've got some savings set aside," I assured him, trying to alleviate his worries. Upon our arrival the next day, we found my mother-in-law, Anna, waiting at the hospital, her anxiety palpable. She embraced Jerry and broke down in tears. We tried to soothe her, promising that things would turn out fine. After discussing with the doctor, we learned that the surgery was necessary. Anna, worried about the cost, asked if we had enough to cover it. "We'll manage the expenses, Anna. Don't worry," we assured her. The surgery proceeded as planned the following day and was successful, although Scott still faced a long road to full recovery. The doctor advised that he would need careful attention in the coming months. Upon bringing Scott home, Anna expressed her gratitude for our support, admitting she couldn't have faced this ordeal alone. "It's no trouble at all, Anna. Just call us anytime you need help. We're planning to head back tomorrow, but keep us updated," we responded. However, just as we were preparing to leave the next day, an unexpected incident occurred. Anna suddenly collapsed, falling unconscious. In a panic, we called out to her, trying to revive her. After a tense few moments, she came to, appearing weak and disoriented. "Are you all right, Anna?" we asked, concerned. She admitted to feeling weak, likely a result of the stress she had been under these past few days. The stress of the situation was palpable. Anna confessed her doubts about managing Scott's care in her current state. "I just don't know if I can handle everything right now," she admitted, overwhelmed. I wished I could extend my stay, considering arranging for additional help, but Jerry and I were wary about entrusting this critical responsibility to a stranger. But how can we leave Anna to rest and also ensure Scott gets the care he needs? I pondered aloud. The dilemma was clear. Should we stay until both of them were on the mend? "My work can be done remotely, but Jerry, your job requires you to be on site," I mused. That's when I proposed a solution. How about I stay behind? Once Scott is fully recovered, I'll return. Anna was hesitant, concerned about the burden on me. That seems like a lot for you to handle alone, she objected. We devised a plan where Jerry would return to work, and Anna would accompany him as soon as she was well enough, leaving me to care for Scott. This plan works. Thank you, Mary. I'm going to miss you, Jerry said, preparing for their departure. Don't worry about us. Take good care of Anna. We'll be just fine, I reassured him. After they left, it was just Scott and me. He expressed regret for my situation. I'm sorry, Mary. Now you're stuck with me. But I didn't see it as being stuck at all. I'm here because I want you to recover. I'll do everything I can to help, I assured him with all sincerity. Taking care of Scott became my new routine. Despite missing my husband, I focused on Scott's health, adhering to the doctor's advice. I dedicated myself to his rehabilitation, including nightly massages to stimulate movement in his legs and ensuring his diet supported his recovery. Balancing work and caregiving was challenging, but the occasional updates from Jerry about Anna kept me connected. One day, while I was preparing a meal, Scott called out to me, wanting assistance to sit up. It was unusual, as he typically remained in his wheelchair, engrossed in his books. Rushing to his aid, I found him eager to attempt something new. Let's adjust your wheelchair, I said, sensing his determination. Scott's eyes sparkled with an unusual intensity. I feel different today. I want to try moving my legs, he announced, his voice laced with resolve. As he concentrated, teeth clenched in determination, he slowly tried to move his legs. The effort was visible in his eyes, and my heart swelled with hope and anticipation at his brave attempt. Take it easy, Scott. There's no need to overdo it, I cautioned, as Scott focused intently on his legs. With a trembling effort, he managed to lift them slightly, a feat that had seemed impossible until now. My heart swelled with hope and admiration. Look at you, Scott. Your legs are moving. Despite the struggle, Scott's determination didn't wane. He pushed himself, trying to stand. Unfortunately, his strength faltered, and he sank back into the wheelchair. I gave it my all, Mary, he sighed, a hint of disappointment in his voice. Scott, you don't understand how amazing this is. You haven't moved your legs for so long, and now you've made significant progress. It's a monumental step forward. We're in this together, and your efforts are making me incredibly proud, I reassured him, trying to uplift his spirits. A gentle smile touched his lips. Thank you, Mary. Your support is everything to me. We'll keep at it. I have faith that one day I'll be able to stand on my own. As time passed, Scott and I dedicated ourselves to his rehabilitation, fully aware of the hurdles ahead, yet unwavering in our commitment. Scott, remember the first time you moved your legs? Look how far you've come. You're gaining strength every day, I remarked, acknowledging his perseverance. Scott looked at me, his expression a blend of resolve and gratitude. Mary, I couldn't have made it this far without you. Your unwavering dedication and encouragement have driven me forward, he confessed. With each passing week, Scott's improvements were evident. Supported by me, he began standing briefly with a walker, inching closer to his once distant dream of walking again. Do you recall your initial attempt to stand? And now, here you are, standing tall with the walker. It's all thanks to your belief in me, even when I doubted myself. Your strength and resolve inspire me, I told him, filled with gratitude for being part of his journey to recovery. Then, one afternoon, as we adhered to our routine, Scott did something extraordinary. With a determined look, he took a tentative step forward without the aid of his walker. Tears of joy welled in his eyes. I was astounded. Scott, you just took a step on your own. You're really doing it. Can you believe it, Mary? I felt it. I really did, he exclaimed, overwhelmed with emotion. We shared a deeply emotional moment, celebrating this significant milestone. Over time and with relentless effort, Scott began taking a few steps unassisted. Scott, you're walking by yourself. This is what we've been working towards, I exclaimed, my voice filled with joy. Without you, Mary, none of this would have been possible. You've been my guardian angel, he said, gratitude resonating in his voice. As Scott continued to improve, navigating his way around more confidently, it was clear that together, we had overcome what once seemed an insurmountable challenge. Our bond grew stronger through the challenges we faced together. My support and Scott's willpower were testaments to the incredible impact that love and assistance can have. Together, we navigated the hurdles of his recovery, step by step. As Scott regained his strength, it became time for me to return to my own life. I planned a special surprise for Jerry, looking forward to reuniting with him without his prior knowledge. Scott, it's been an extraordinary journey. I'm amazed by your progress. I have some news to share, I started, feeling a mix of excitement and sadness. I'm heading home. Jerry has no idea I'm coming, and I want to surprise him. That's wonderful, Mary. You've been here through thick and thin. Now, it's time for you to be with your husband and find happiness again, Scott responded warmly. I expressed my gratitude and assured him of my lasting affection and the memories we'd created. I'll miss you, Scott, but I'm also excited to be with Jerry again. On my departure day, Scott's parting words felt like a farewell from a family member. Mary, you've been like a daughter to me. I'll miss you, but I'm glad you're going back to Jerry, he said. I promised to visit, knowing both Jerry and Anna would be overjoyed with Scott's recovery. Arriving home, I found Jerry and Anna unsuspectingly enjoying their coffee. Surprise, I'm home, I announced, watching Jerry's joyous reaction. His embrace was a testament to our missed connection. Mary, this is the best surprise. I've missed you so much, he exclaimed. Anna's reaction to my news about Scott was equally heartfelt. Mary, you're truly an angel. Thank you for everything, she said, relieved and grateful for Scott's well-being. After settling in, I sensed something amiss in the house, but too weary to investigate, I decided to freshen up. However, upon discovering our empty bedroom, confusion and concern took over. Jerry, Anna, what happened to all our furniture? Their exchange of worried looks and the tension in the air alarmed me. Jerry's discomfort was palpable as he broke the news. Mary, we need to have a serious conversation. While you were away, caring for Scott, we made a significant decision. What's going on? I asked, sensing the gravity of the situation. We sold the house, Mary, Anna admitted, her voice hesitant. Processing their words took a moment. You sold our home? Without even discussing it with me? Disbelief and hurt overshadowed my initial joy of returning. Jerry's attempt to justify, Mary, it was a beneficial deal, did little to quell the mix of emotions surging through me. The shock of their unilateral decision to sell our shared home without my input marked a turning point, igniting a blend of betrayal and disbelief within me. In a turn of events that seemed unimaginable just a short while ago, I found myself grappling with a profound sense of betrayal and loss. The decision to sell the house, made without my consent or knowledge, hit me hard. After everything, you chose now to sell? We could have discussed this, I argued, trying to comprehend their reasoning. We needed the funds, Jerry explained, but his words felt like a shallow justification for a deep betrayal. For yourselves? Did you consider our trust, our plans, or was it just for your benefit? The realization that my own family could prioritize their needs so blatantly over our shared life was devastating. The house was in my son's name. We believed we had the freedom to make this decision, they countered, as if my dedication to Scott somehow lessened my stake in our shared life. But it was my home too. My efforts, my dreams. How could you disregard that so easily? The sense of violation was overwhelming. We thought it was for the best, Mary. A necessary change. They tried to assure me, but their words rang hollow. Their decision left me relying, questioning the very foundations of our relationship. Our marriage, our partnership, it was supposed to be built on trust and mutual respect. How could you? The pain of this realization was sharp, cutting deeper than the loss of the house itself. I found myself at a crossroads, without a home, and feeling alienated from those I had trusted most. The reality of my situation set in. I was effectively homeless, with nowhere to turn. Desperate, I reached out to friends but found no solace or solution there. In the end, I had no choice but to seek refuge with Scott, the very person I had been caring for all this while. Scott, I'm at a loss. Jerry and Anna sold the house out from under me. I've got nowhere else to go, I confided, feeling the weight of my situation. Scott's response was immediate and compassionate. You're not alone, Mary. This is your home too. Stay as long as you need, he assured me, his generosity a small beacon of hope in my turmoil. Determined not to impose on Scott any longer than necessary, I vowed to find a new place of my own. Yet, in a moment of shared vulnerability, Scott came to me with an unexpected revelation. "Mary, dry those tears. You're not homeless. It's Jerry and Anna who've made a drastic choice, not you." Confused and intrigued by Scott's cryptic message, I listened as he outlined a plan so audacious, it took my breath away. The sense of empowerment and resolve that flowed from our conversation was transformative. Together, we crafted a strategy not just for my recovery, but for a kind of reckoning. A plan that promised not just a return to stability, but a chance for retribution and closure on my terms. The revelation that my husband and his mother could stoop to such levels for financial gain was shocking, but Scott and I were resolute in teaching them a lesson they wouldn't forget. Scott reached out to an old college friend, sketching out a meticulous plan over the phone. As they strategized, Anna's call came through, and Scott, with a hint of mischief, put her on speakerphone, anticipating her words might play right into our strategy. "Hello, dear. We've heard about your recovery and are thinking of visiting soon. We would never abandon you," Anna's voice echoed, filled with faux concern. Scott's response was an uncontrollable burst of laughter, leaving Anna perplexed. "Anna, I never realized the depth of your selfishness. Your manipulations won't work on us," he declared, with me joining in the laughter. It was clear our dynamics had shifted dramatically, marking the beginning of a calculated counter-move. Anna, taken aback, accused me of conspiring against her. "Mary, I can't believe you'd go behind my back like this," she lamented. Scott quickly came to my defense. "Mary is like a daughter to me. What you and Jerry did was unjust, and you're going to learn from this mistake," he asserted firmly. Jerry, feeling cornered but defiant, reminded us of his familial bond with Scott. "Remember, Dad, I'm your son, but we still have Mary's house. We could buy it back," he proposed, mistaking the situation for a simple misunderstanding that could be rectified with a purchase. Determined to reclaim what he believed was lost, Jerry reached out to the new owner of my house, only to be informed he was speaking to a representative. After getting the real owner's contact information, his attempts to connect were met with a constant busy signal. His frustration grew, unaware that his efforts were in vain. We should feel sorry for him, I thought, knowing well that his attempts to reach the owner would be futile. Scott, seeing his son's stubbornness, advised, "Maybe it's time to stop trying, son." But Jerry was not ready to give up. "I'm not done yet," he insisted, determined to restore what he believed could fix the rift between us. Little did he know, the plan Scott and I had set in motion was designed not just to teach a lesson about respect and trust, but to reveal the consequences of their actions in a way they never anticipated. "Jerry, you might want to listen to Scott on this one," I said, watching the realization dawn on him. "Why? Do you know the owner?" he asked, confused. Scott's next words were a revelation. "Actually, I am the owner," he declared. Jerry and Anna were in disbelief. "That's impossible. You can't do this to us," they protested. But Scott had been steps ahead all along. "I knew about your plan to sell Mary's house while she was here, helping me. And Anna, I knew you weren't really sick. You just didn't want to deal with me. I overheard your conversations in the hospital. How could you be so careless with the feelings of your wife and your father?" Scott chided them. He explained further. "As soon as I found out about the sale, I had one of my employees purchase the house. Now, you can't buy it back, not for twice the price." "Why, Anna, Jerry, I thought we were family. Greed gets you nowhere. I hoped better values were instilled in you," Scott lamented, expressing his disappointment and the harsh lesson they had learned about greed and family. Apologies started to pour in from Jerry. "I'm sorry, Mary, it was my mistake. Please forgive us," he pleaded, trying to mend fences. But the damage was done. "He's not a child, Anna. He shattered my trust and our vows. I can't forgive that." I stood firm, knowing some betrayals were too deep to overlook. Jerry begged for a second chance, but I sought Scott's wisdom. He advised caution, hinting that some patterns never change. "I know, Scott, and that's why I can't go back to him. I have my place now and a real family here. I don't need anything else. It's time for me to move on from selfish people," I resolved. Jerry and Anna, faced with the reality of their actions, understood further arguments were futile. They had aimed to leave me with nothing, and now, ironically, found themselves in a precarious situation. With the call ended, I looked towards the future, ready to embark on a new chapter of my life, surrounded by genuine care and far removed from selfishness.